Hello, welcome to Session 9, Management of Transaction Exposure. The session goal for today is students are able to understand the foreign exchange rate exposure. The module goal is students are able to understand the transaction exposure. The learning outcomes is first, to define foreign exchange rates and exposure. Second, to discuss the relevance of an MNC's exposure to exchange rate risk. Third, to explain how transaction exposure can be measured. Foreign exchange risk. Foreign exchange risk arises because of uncertainty about the future spot exchange rate. It refers to the variability of the domestic currency value of certain items resulting from the variability of the exchange rate. When an MNC is exposed to exchange rate risk, its cash flows could be adversely affected by the exchange rate movements. By reducing exchange rate exposure, MNCs may be able to stabilize their earnings and cash flows. Different types of foreign exchange exposure. First, transaction exposure. Second, economic exposure. Third, translation exposure. Let's have a look at transaction exposure. Transaction exposure is a sensitivity of the firm's contractual transactions in foreign currencies to exchange rate movements. It rises if payables and receivables are denominated in foreign currencies. It is a cash flow exposure associated with trade and capital flows. If you want to assess transaction exposure, you can use this formula. And let's have a look at measurement of currency volatility. To measure the currency volatility, you can use the standard deviation. So it measures the degree of movement of each currency in any given period. Volatility of any currency depends on the time horizon that is used to measure the exchange rate movements. Longer the time horizon, the more volatile a currency's movement. So we have currency correlations, which indicate the degree to which two currencies move in relation to each other. If an MNC has a positive net cash flows in various currencies that are highly correlated, it may be exposed to exchange rate risk. However, many MNCs have some negative net cash flows positions in some currency to complement their positive net cash flows in other currencies. And one of the measures that we can use to estimate the currency volatility is VAR, value at risk, which estimates the maximum possible loss on the value of the currency positions that are exposed to exchange rate movements. It measures the potential maximum one-day loss on the value of positions of an MNC that is exposed to exchange rate movements. So there are factors that affect the maximum one-day loss or for any period of time. First, expected percentage change in the currency rate for the next day. Second, confidence level used. Third, standard deviation of the daily percentage changes in the currency. So this is the end of the sessions, and you have two questions to be answered. First, blank, exposure deals with cash flows that result from existing contractual obligation. A, operating. B, transaction. C, translation. D, economic. Question 2. M&E cash flows may be sensitive to changes in which of the following? A, exchange rate. B, interest rates. C, commodity prices. D, all of the above. Thank you for watching. Bye.